Today is kind of an impromptu video where I'll be analyzing Ariana Grande's new Hate That I Made You Love Me music video. I'll be going through this video scene by scene and sharing what I think it all means. Now, please be aware, this is just very speculative in my personal interpretation. So if you interpreted something different or noticed something I didn't talk about, make sure to comment below and let me know so we can continue the conversation about the music video of the year. Anyhow, this video will probably be demonetized, so if you want to support my channel, make sure to subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into the Hate That I Made You Love Me music video. I think in this scene, Justin Long's character represents the general public and how they like to bury Ariana with their discourse. It's almost like as soon as Ariana doesn't fit in their box of what they expect from her, they're ready to just turn their backs right away. Just the whole idea of like being eager to hate somebody. Then we see Ariana Grande's underground lair with boxes and notebooks. I think these boxes and notebooks could represent scrapped ideas or things that Ariana has shelved in fear of public reception. Part of what makes me think this could be the case is the compositions notebook. Ariana has said in interviews that she shelved a lot of ideas that she was going to do for the Positions album cycle due to negative public reception. Although I think people have changed their mind a bit on that album, and I think that it's aging better than people may have thought when it first came out.
I will find my way from you.
Then Ariana starts appearing in this guy's life after he buried her dead body, kind of like a ghost or like an apparition. This could represent how some fans and the general public are quick to turn their backs on Ariana, but she still remains culturally relevant. No matter how much people say they hate this girl, people are still tuning in. They say they're withdrawing their support, but that really never happens.
And I can see right through.
And then when we see the car just run through Ariana while she's left unfazed, I think it shows how the public's words and the media are something that she's used to, and no matter how mean some random on the internet is being, she's learned not really to take it to heart. And then we see the man injured and his car on fire, limping through the streets, followed by Ariana coming behind his car. I think this could be representing how when people hate on artists, the hate really only exists in their heart. Most artists aren't going to give a damn about what people they don't even know have to say on the internet, but speaking so negatively must weigh on the person who's hating. Ariana is fine, but the man who tried to bury her is left limping and in distress. Sometimes it's more hurtful to yourself to be hateful than it is to the actual person you're hating on. And if I had to guess, I would kind of guess that that's like the thesis of this whole music video, but let's continue on. Now, I don't see much in this scene where she's walking behind him, but I did want to point out how good her hair looks, yes. But if I did have to guess what this part of the video could possibly represent, it would maybe be that even through these phases of hatred for her, these hate trains, and the critical judgments of her art, Ariana's music is always something that's going to be there for these people to lean back on. The music never hates them back, even if they're so mad about some artistic decision. I think the compositions books with all these little notes in it, although we can't really make out what they are, I think it could represent the humanness behind Ariana's art, especially with her self-written work. If you're familiar with Ariana as a pop star and musician, you know that ever since Sweetener, her work has been very personal. And I really do think there is a strong difference between dogging on a song that's made by men in a boardroom compared to self-written work that people put their heart and soul into. So I think by showing these writings, it kind of reminds the viewer or the listener of what a lot of these songs that they're eager to trash on actually came from. A journal, a diary, a personal moment.
Kissed by the sun.
Now, this picture on the mantle is pretty obviously a nod to the play that Ariana is going to be in soon, Sunday in the Park with George. And I do think some of these other knickknacks could have meanings, but I'm not too sure 100%. So if you see anything else that ties into something on this entertainment stand, please comment it below and let me know.
And cold like the wind. I'd be stuck in honey. Though that
Next, we see the 8 play, a nod to Petal, Ariana's 8th album. She usually does some kind of number nod like this, like how there was the AG7 card in the Yes and music video.
I will find my way from you. I guess it's
And then the plate goes into the fire, which could be a metaphor for how people are just writing off Petal before they've even heard it. And obviously the reception came after the song was made, but that's especially shown with the immediate negative reactions to this great song. It's something different, but you know, when people hear something they're not used to, they just think it's bad. But similarly to Positions, I have a feeling people will come around on this song, maybe even sooner than we think. I mean, I love an up-tempo bop just as much as the next person, but I can still notice that this is a great song, although it's pretty different from what we're used to, at least from Ariana. And like we saw him limping from the car, we see the man's own hatred injuring himself with the fire coming back at him, igniting his clothes and his house, while Ariana just watches. She sees the hate and negativity, but the only person it's really injuring is the person spreading it, not the person they're trying to push it onto. I saw Zachary Khan say this, love his videos, but possibly Bunny Hop is the title of a Petal track, but also I think it could be a little cheeky nod to Dangerous Woman. Maybe we'll learn more about that soon, or maybe we won't, who knows. But we love Ariana's world building lately. We got the Brighter Days Ahead clinic, and now we have the Bunny Hop Diner. I think little nods and references and creating a world like this is just so fun, and just gives the real fans a lot to play with.
I felt your projections when you felt so insecure. Tell me, why is it this way? Why you so hate to see women indoors?
Oh, the Petal name tag, so cute.
Give me your heart of your own accord. I don't really.
This look is a word that starts with C that I cannot say on YouTube, but it is so cute. During this part of the video, I think it's a metaphor for the obsession that a lot of people who hate her have. They claim to hate Ariana and not care about her anymore, but they jump on every opportunity to tear her down, make sure to tune in whenever she's doing something, and just keep her in the backs of their minds. But back to the first scene, when they bury her and try to write her off, it's never genuine, because they still keep her culturally relevant and support her despite claiming how much they despise her. I love the braids here, and that stance she has as the waitress is again that C word I can't say, but love it. Then we see the man burying himself, which I think could be a way to show that when you're hateful towards an artist, the only person it really weighs on is yourself. If you keep spreading hate and being negative, it will bury you alive, but artists like Ariana keep on moving, as we see Ariana standing over his grave. And Finn. That was the video for Hate That I Made You Love Me by Ariana Grande and my interpretation of every scene. Overall in this video, I think Justin Long's character not necessarily represents Arianators and real fans, but represents a lot of like general public and just like what people on Twitter say, the bullshit they spew, and how it really only affects you when you're hateful and not actually the person you're hating on. If you're one of these people, which I doubt a lot of my viewers are, but think to yourself, like, does hating on people on the internet actually bring you joy? Does it actually make you happy? Because when the artist doesn't even see it or isn't fazed by it, the only person it's really hurting and dampening their energy of is you. I know I can be critical on my YouTube channel, but hopefully it never comes across as me just straight up being hateful. And honestly, most of my reviews and stuff are about things I like. I don't really have much of an interest to talk about what I don't like. I mean, sometimes in like a tier list, if I'm putting a bunch of songs together, or like if there's an artist I really like that didn't put out my favorite album, I might review something like that. But for the most part, I feel like I try to keep it positive. But anyhow, if you like this video, if you like these kind of more impromptu videos of me just analyzing things and, you know, talking about what I think it could mean, being very poetic, maybe a little bit of math, I don't know, make sure to subscribe because I really appreciate your support. Again, this video will probably be demonetized because I use so much music video footage and just played the song, like whatever. So I'd really appreciate your support. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.